Hi guys, so welcome back. Isn't this adorable? I got the idea when I went to Michael's craft store yesterday and I loved all the stuff. Okay, so that's where I got this little birdhouse and it was $4.99, just plain wooden. They had a variety of different ones, so you're also going to need a pine cone, some glitter, and this kind is very clear and sparkly, and some buffalo snow flurries, hot glue gun, a couple of little trees, and some white paint, and a little piece of glass. Now, you don't have to do this. I did some spray adhesive and some little miniature wreaths. Okay, so once I've got everything I need, I start with my pine cone. And I just pull all of the little pieces off individually. Once I've got those done, I paint my entire birdhouse white, except for the roof. I didn't paint the roof. And I decided I wanted to take the little perch off, and it did leave a little hole there, but that's okay. It comes in handy later. So like I said, I finished painting everything white and excluding the roof. Once everything is painted white, I go over it with the buffalo snow and press it in. Okay, so I'm using the spray adhesive. I'm adding the buffalo snow literally on every wall and all sides, excluding the roof, like I said. And it does stick really well. I was a little worried about the spray adhesive, but it worked perfect. Okay, so next I start gluing on my pine cone seeds for my roof. And I find out pretty quick that I'm going to have to cut that tip off. I kind of experimented and wanted to see how far it would push out the second row, and it did. So I decided to cut that tip off just so everything laid flat as I laid my roof. Before I got my entire roof on, I wanted to add that little piece of colored glass for my window. And I chose a yellow, kind of yellow goldish colored piece of glass. And once I got that in, then I finished laying my roof. And once I got to the very top, because this kind of resembles a church, it's got a steeple, I needed to cut the pine cone seed to a point to fit it on there, and it worked great. The pine cone seeds are actually really easy to cut into the shape you want, except for the end where it's a little bit thicker. So at this point I decided I wanted to add a little bit of a roof over my door. And remember that little bird perch that I took out that left a hole there? Well, it fit the end of that pine cone seed perfectly, and it gave me a guide of where I wanted my roof. I didn't start there. I did take that out and started on the sides just so my roof laid better, as if they were, tiles or actual roofing. So I cut them at a diagonal and just hot glued them on and worked my way to that top point. Okay, so my makeshift little roof over my door worked great. The hot glue worked perfect. At this point, I grabbed that white paint again and started to paint on the the ridge of the top of the little house, and added just a little bit of snow on the sides. I didn't want to cover my roof, and I didn't want to put snow on each pine cone. I kind of wanted to make the snow look a little bit patchy, and that's what they looked like at Michael's. So after I added the paint, I added a little bit of that, the snow flurries, the buffalo snow, and kind of pushed it in there. I wanted to get it in the cracks and, you know, make it look a little bit more snow covered. I do pat off the extra snow and I go over the whole thing with some of the spray adhesive and add some of that clear glitter. And I do add that clear glitter over the entire roof. And the reason I do that is, again, that's what they looked like at Michael's, and it gives kind of a frosty, icy look over the whole thing. You know how snow is very glistening, so it just gave it that sparkly, glistening, icy look, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so now that my actual building is done, I'm going to add some accessories, and I add a little tree on the side, which I got at Walmart for 74 cents, and one of those little miniature wreaths on the window. And I do add this little light inside. I got the little light at the Dollar Tree, and you can see a little bit of a yellow glow coming from the window. And I love it. I absolutely love how this little house turned out. So I hope you guys like it too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.